Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Kakwadash. Double honors to my apostles, a great millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect. This is part 2 of the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35. Now we'll be beginning in verse 7. This Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 7 says, "Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate." Now we know Mount Seir is talking about the Edomites, right? Esau, Edom, right? It says, "Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate." Yeah, because, you're going to have Babylon the Great and other places, these Edomites have possession of, be destroyed. It says, "And cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men. In thy hills, and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword." Yeah, because it's going to be a lot of death, right? A lot of dead bodies are going to be laying in the street. This is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 2. It says, "For the indignation of the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He had utterly destroyed them. He had delivered them to the slaughter." Yeah, and this is future prophecy, right? This haven't come to pass yet, but it will in the near future. Verse 3, it says, "Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood," right? So there's going to be a lot of dead bodies laying in the street, right, on the day of the Lord, right? This place, is going to be filled with blood. Blood is going to be flowing throughout the streets, right? Scripture speaks about the slain of the Lord shall be many. Real quick, let's get that. It's Isaiah 66, verse 16. It says, "For by fire and by his sword will the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua shall be many," right? So Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is coming to punish the wicked, right? And he's going to judge them, all right? He's going to destroy them by fire, all right? From the nuclear missiles and also from the chariots, right? It's going to be many bodies laying across the streets all throughout the earth. Ezekiel 35, verse 9, it says, "I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy cities shall not return. And ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua." God, once Esau, Edom kingdom be destroyed, there's no coming back, all right? Let's go back to Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah chapter 49. Starting at verse 17, it says, "Also Edom shall be a desolation, every one that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. Yeah. So people are gonna be in shock. They're gonna be amazed at the destruction of this kingdom. Right? It says, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord Yahweh Shah. No man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in there. Yeah, and we know that Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed by fire and brimstone. And that's why, this place is known as spiritual Sodom. Alright? And Babylon the Great, aka America, is going to be destroyed the same way Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. And that's by fire, right? And that fire is going to be coming from the nuclear missiles, right? And it says, and no man shall abide there. Yeah, because, this is after the destruction of Babylon the Great, it's not going to be a land for people to dwell in, right? It's going to be a land for the unclean creatures and foul spirits. This Malachi chapter 1 verse 3. Matter of fact, you start at verse 2. It says, I have loved you, saith the Lord Yahweh Shah. Yet ye say, wherein thou hast loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord Yahweh Shah. Yet I've loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Right? See? So this place is going to be, Babylon the Great is going to be a desert for the unclean creatures, Got the lizards, right? And all the desert-like creatures are going to be dwelling in this place after the destruction. This is Ezekiel 35:10. Because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord Yahweh Shah was there. Yeah, and the two nations are going into the northern and southern kingdom, all right? This is Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 21. It says, and say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, will gather them on every side, and will bring them into their own land. It's talking about Israel. The Lord is going to bring us back together. It says, and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be the king to them all. That's Yahweh Shah. And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all. Yeah. So the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom are going to be brought back together as one. They're going to be, we're going to be unified. Ezekiel 35:11. It says, therefore, As I live, said the Lord Power, I will even do according to thy anger and according to thine envy which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. Alright? So basically, it's going to be payback for you Edomites, alright? He's going to, Yahweh Shema Shah is going to pay you back for all you have done, alright? The scripture speaks about, let's bring that up real quick. First, I want to go to Isaiah chapter 14, and verse 1, because Yahweh Shema Shah is going to pay Esau back by afflicting him the same way he afflicted Israel. And to prove that, this is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. It says, for the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Yeah, so, Yahweh Shema Shah has everlasting mercy on the nation of Israel. All right, we are the chosen, and he's going to bring us back in our own land, which is the land of Israel. Right now, you got imposters over there, right? And then when it says, and the strangers shall be joined with them, that's going into the Israelite foreigners. And it says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place. The people is talking about the Israelites, and take them. Them is talking about the heathen, all right? We're going to bring them back to our land. It says, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah for servants and handmaids, all right? Going to the word possess, it means to own, all right? So these heathens are going to be ours, all right? They're going to be our property. It says for servants and handmaids. Servants and handmaids are basically slaves, right? It says, and they shall take them captives, who captives they were, they shall rule over their oppressors. All right, so our enemies, we're in the hand of our enemies now, but when our Lord returns, guess what? It's going to be a reverse. They're going to be our slaves, right? Real quick, Esau going to pay. This Galatians chapter 6, verse 7 says, be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap, right? So karma is coming to you devils, right? The Lord is going to pay you back, all right? By putting you into slavery, right? Same way you put us into slavery. It's going to happen to you. Then you're going to be cut off, right? And since I brought that up, let's go to Revelation real quick. This is Revelation 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints, all right? Who led us into captivity, right? So-called white men, right? So he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, and he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword, right? So you devils, you killed using the sword. Guess what is going to happen right back to you, right? It says, here's the patience and the faith of the saints. We know the saints are the Israelites. Psalms 148, verse 14. Let's go back to Ezekiel. says, Ezekiel 35, verse 12, it says, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shah, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies, which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. Yeah, Yahweh Bashem Shah heard all the blasphemy, Esau spoken against Jerusalem. These other heathens as well. Now, real quick, I'm gonna go to Psalms 83rd chapter. This is Psalms chapter 83, verse 1. It says, keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, going into an uproar. It says, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. All right, meaning they rosen up. It says, they have taken crafty counsels against our people and consulted against our hidden ones. All right, the hidden ones are going into the elite. All right, and it said crafty counsels going into the schemes. All right, they trickery. All right. It says they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Right? So these heathens did everything they can to destroy, to wipe out Israel, the nation of Israel. Right? By their philosophies, their different beliefs, right? To lead us astray from our power. That's why people bugged out. They drunk with the Babylon juice. Right? And Yahweh Shemel Shah, he sees that. So that's why, these heathens have to pay. Back in Ezekiel 13:12, it says, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah, and that I have heard all the blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, they are desolate, they are given to us to consume. Yeah. We were given to the heathen according to prophecy. It was given to the heathen according to prophecy for our wicked acts, right? We went off and proved that. Yahweh Shema Shah, he punished us, gave us to the hand of the heathen. Jeremiah 17:4 says, and thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee. Yeah, Yahweh Shema Shah, he put an end to our heritage, our culture, our nationality. It says, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. Yeah, we was going off, being wicked, breaking the little statutes and commandments. So Yahweh Shema Shah, he punished us, right? And he gave us to the heathen to serve them, right? That was all according to prophecy. Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 13 says, thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Yeah. Now real quick, bring out a precept or two. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 13. It says, for thou hast said in thy heart, meaning in mind, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High God. It says I will ascend into heaven, because Esau, They have this space force, and all things of that nature. It says, and I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. And the stars of the Most High, talking about the nation of Israel. It says, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. It's talking about in America. It says, I will send above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Alright? So this devil thinks he's the Most High. Alright? This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. I'm going to start at 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first. Alright, and that falling away happened, when we went astray from our power, we became rebellion against the Most High. Alright? We start following other doctrines, philosophies, belief, religion. But the nation of Israel being brought back, it says, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. The son of perdition, that man of sin is talking about Esau, Edom. It says, who oppose it and exalting himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. So this is Esau's Edom and Mo, right? He thinks he's the Most High. Ezekiel 35:13 says, thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Yeah. Yahweh Shema Shah sees and hears everything. Alright? Real quick. Let's go to Proverbs 15. This is Proverbs 15:3. It says, the eyes of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah, are in every place, beholding the good, the evil, and the good. Yeah. So the eyes of the Lord are the angels, alright? And they're reporting everything that's being done on this planet, right? Evil and good. And Esau, Edom, is doing nothing but pure evil, right? Ezekiel 35:14. Thus saith the Lord power, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate. Gone. Esau, Edom, he rejoiced at Israel, at the nation of Israel full, right? We could read about that in Obadiah 12, right? Psalms 137, right? He rejoiced at the nation of Israel full, but the whole earth is going to rejoice when Esau full, all right? This is Proverbs 29 and verse 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. God. So when the saints, when the godly are in authority, it's going to be rejoicing. Why? Because everything is going to be in good state, all right? This earth is going to be a paradise, but right now we're in hell, right? Why? Because the wicked is in rulership, all right? We're mourning right now, all right? We're catching hell, all right? We barely could pay our rent, all right? We barely getting paid at work. We getting crumbs, right? It's Isaiah 14:7. It says the whole earth is at rest and it's quiet. They break forth into singing. Yeah, that's gonna, the earth is gonna be at rest when Yahweh shall return and the Israelites on rulership. It says, yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow has come up against us. Yeah. It's going to Edom. The whole earth is going to be rejoicing when this devil be brought down. Why? Because he's polluting everything. The food is not good. The trees are catching hell. There's no land Sabbath. He's spraying shit in the air, things of that nature. The whole earth is decaying because of Esau, Edom. It's Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 15. It says, as thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Yeah. Esau, Edom, he rejoiced over Israel along with these other heathens. Let's get that real quick. Revelation 11:10 says, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry and sing gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth. Yeah. So these heathens, they rejoiced over us, right? Prime example, transatlantic slave trade. We was those gifts. We was being traded across the earth, right? Heathens were passing the Israelites off, right? Like gifts, like it's Christmas or some shit, right? It says, read Ezekiel 35:15 again, as thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, right? It says, because it was desolate, so I will do unto thee. What goes around, comes around. Esau, Edom about to drink that cup. It's Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16. It says, therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, right? And all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they shall be spoiled. And they that spoil thee shall be spoiled. And all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey, right? So Esau, Edom, he's going to reap what he sowed, all right? He's going to pay for his wicked acts or his criminal acts they done to the Israelites, right? He's going to captivity, as I read, Isaiah 14, Revelation 13:9. He that leads captivity shall go into captivity, right? And after captivity, this devil's going to be cut off. Last precept. Obadiah, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. All right? Esau, Edom, because of his violence against the nation of Israel, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're going to have to pay for that. All right? You're going to serve captivity. He's going to be cut off forever. He's going to be destroyed forever. There's going to be no more Edomites on the planet. All right? I'm going to jump down to verse 18. I'm going to end it here. Obadiah, verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, going into the northern and southern kingdom. And the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them, and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord Yahweh has spoken it. But with that being said, Shalom.